big noise!
Young Kyle,
Yes.
how you doing, mate?
I'm good.
Welcome to the Bring the Noise podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So, a bit of background, how I've got in touch with yourself. Seen you do a few videos online.
Mm-hmm.
You done one a while ago. You can talk about it if you want. You don't have to. But also recently, I've seen you do one regarding digital ID.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone like myself and many others have been banging on about digital ID. And the fact is that you're coming from the angle of a software developer, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a software developer.
So, I mean, do a wee bit of background regarding yourself. I mean, you're a young guy, you're 25.
25 just turned.
25. And I think it is important that your generation does start to
Mm-hmm.
wake up, as I like to say,
Yep.
or inform them about what's possible to come. I can give you my views on things. Obviously, I understand that you can give your views. But for me, we're getting into really dangerous times. And from my point of view, I'm not a software developer, but I can see the dangers of what the digital ID can possibly be. So if you want to give a wee background to yourself, mate.
Yeah. I say I'm 25. I'm from Paisley, but moved to Glasgow recently, and been kind of creating content on TikTok since like 2022, but it's been on and off. There was times where I was more consistent, then it falls off. You get 0 views, and then you kind of think, right, I'll stop this for a bit, and then you keep going. You get a wee video with a couple of thousand views, you keep going. So I've just kind of always been creating it, but I've always wanted to. I'm trying to find my niche, but I feel like I'm quite knowledgeable with some. Just going through your 20s, mental health, like grew up with some anxiety, all that kind of stuff, and I kind of worked my way through it through different means. And I thought, well, there's a lot of anxiety in the world now. There's a lot of kind of fear. There's a lot of things where people don't really know what's going on or how to feel good in their day to day, and especially with like our phones and social media, like our brains are getting overloaded to a point that we've not evolved to deal with yet, or made to deal with, whatever you believe in. And I started creating content just to kind of like help people, but as I've been creating it, I've found that the videos that kind of do the best is when I'm just kind of speaking about my knowledge and my truth and what can relate to me and what can relate to people who are the same age as me and what they're going through. And then recently, like, I've kind of found a little bit of, I'd say success. My biggest videos yet have been around digital ID, because as a software developer, I thought, well, wait a minute here, like, as a software developer, I'm only like two and a bit years into my career, so I don't have the most extensive knowledge, but even just that little bit more, I'm like, oh wow, this could be really much more dangerous. It could be much more dangerous than people realise. So I started making videos just speaking about it in kind of like layman's terms, trying to make it so that it was understandable, and those videos seem to have blown up to the point where you've obviously asked me to come on here, so that's a kind of a wee bit quick background of that.
I mean, a lot of people, I mean, look, I think that, let's be honest here, I mean, what's your main platform? Is it TikTok? Or?
It is TikTok, but I started Instagram like, I don't know, 7 weeks ago, and it's now like only 1,000 followers less than my TikTok, and it's my Instagram video that took off the most. It's got over 600,000 views.
Yeah, I think like,
so it's kind of weird.
With this day and age now, I think that TikTok's became part of the problem. I think social media's became part of the problem. What we've got is you've got people on, like I'm not a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about the future.
Yep.
My stuff always starts with the Jags, and then I start to see the bigger picture.
Yep.
And I'm trying to use my platform to make people aware of what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
And the digital ID, like I say, I know people that are in Glasgow, they go out every Thursday. They're called the Outreachers. They've got yellow boards and stuff, and they've been banging on about digital ID for ages. So many people have been talking about the dangers of it. And what we've got is, I think that 2020 is when TikTok became big.
Yeah,
and it's created this new generation of celebrity. Now, everybody's got a phone, in my opinion. Now, if you're putting out content that's decent, you know, if it's self-motivating and stuff like that, it's fine, but I'm witnessing a lot of things, and I'm like, Jeremy Kyle Show gets shut down, and now it's became Jeremy Kyle Show on TikTok, and you're sitting there, and I'm like, I call it misguided confidence. Like, the amount of confidence these people, it's like the stuff you might do in the background, these people are putting on the screen, and I'm like, where's, you know, like, the generation we've got now, I'm like, this is crazy, the way the world's went, and now it's like the dangers of what the future looks like now and what's to come, which is, in my opinion, might not be yours, but we're getting into this digital imprisonment. And I'm sitting here now. If now, did you want to become a content creator? Because that's the thing. Is it a thing that you just wanted to be a content creator?
I've always had a kind of creative need, if you know what I mean, to kind of be explored. I've always had that kind of it's not intention. I can't think of the word right now, but this impulse, this creative impulse, and I was like, well, I want to create content because I think that, truthfully, with myself, when I speak to my friends, when I create content, whatever it is, I might have like little nuggets that people can like learn from, and I also want to learn from other people. So podcasts and content creation, collaborating with other creators, yes, but I don't want to be an influencer for influencer's sake. I don't want to be an influencer. I just think about every video I put out. Some of them, like for the month of October, I'm trying to post 5 videos a day on TikTok and Instagram just to prove that I'm here, consistent, and learn through it. This video didn't do well. This video did well. Like, can you swear on this? No.
Say what you fucking
I was going to say, right, okay, sorry. You throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, but it's not just about that. It's about what shit did you enjoy throwing at the wall, you know? What enjoys it for me? So, yes, I want to be a content creator in a sense, but before every video, I am thinking to myself, if someone wants to watch this, what value do you get? How can I help them? I'm not thinking, hopefully this video gets lots of views. It's, if someone else came across this video who's struggling with anxiety or doesn't know about digital ID, can I inform them? Can I help them? So I don't want to have attention or followers just for the sake of it. I want to actually like help people and give value. Yeah. So it's not, you're right, there's a lot of in this space where it's become like, I heard someone say that they say the space is saturated. Everyone wants to be a content creator. And I'm like, yeah, it's right and wrong. Bad content is oversaturated, but good content isn't. Because when I was sitting at the train station earlier, everyone was on their phones, and I think, I don't know any of these people. No, these people aren't creating content. Like, social media is just like the new TV. It's just a new tool, and it just depends on how you use it. And unfortunately, people can like hijack it. But so I'm circle back to the point. I enjoy the content creation. I just want to try and like help people in digital ID. I was like, well, I can inform people here. Like, if you wanted to, I mean, my biggest Instagram video's got over 600,000 views. It's the one that's kind of blown up and got me my most followers. I think that you've probably seen that people shared. If I tried to do that back in the day through like news outlets or whatever to get 600,000 people to see it, it would have been quite tough. So I think that's where it can be a good thing. So I just want my platform to be, I think, something for that.
I think with the way that, you know, we're lucky we've actually got this in this day and age. We do have, I mean, there's a bad side to it and there's a good side.
Well, there's no filter, which is good and bad.
Yeah, so what I'm meaning is it's been used because I personally think we've been lied to for a hell of a long time. I think media has been lying to us for many, many years, and the fact is there was no alternative media back then, and the fact that we've got alternative media, we can now actually see a more balanced kind of view.
Yes,
and that's the thing. Like, I've kind of looked at things from other sides, so I'll look at this side and all. And the fact of the matter is, people have been lied to on both sides, if that makes sense. Because, for example, you know, I go out to the hotels and I document it. I'm not there to be an advocate for it. I'm not a campaigner of it. I'm there as an independent journalist.
You're reporting.
So I go and I try and ask questions. Now, I ask people that are over that side, that are stand up to racism. They don't want to talk to you. I've had a few conversations and interactions with them, and they're getting lied to because they're claiming that everybody over on that side's racist and everything.
It's just a divide.
And the honest answer is that the ones I've spoken to, I've not heard any racism. I've not seen it. Listen, there might be racist amongst them, but I don't know.
It'd be bad on either side of anything.
And then what you've got, and I look at them and I go, if the narrative they've been fed, of course they're thinking they're doing good things. You can't deny that. If I'm thinking they're racist over there, they're fascist, you're thinking, oh, if I had that mindset and that was the information I was getting, of course I'm going to stand there and shout at them thinking they're all racist.
It's buzzwords now though, fascism, Nazi.
Of course.
People don't actually know what it means.
But they're being lied to over here, and again, they're over there, and because they're being lied to, vice versa, we're getting manipulated on all angles.
You can see through it if you take a step back.
So the whole point in me going out and doing this is to ask the alternative questions, like, why? So again, what happened to me was I get injured with the Jag, get shut down on many social media platforms, kept getting shut down, and I was watching the mainstream media lie about the harms of these things, lying about how they were safe, lying about, and as I'm watching more people get injured, including children from it. So now that thing that's in my living room is now just nothing but an ornament because I don't watch it anymore. I'll pick what I want to watch, but I'll go and try and do some more research. I'm not just going to take that side. I'll look at things, but me personally, I think there's a bigger thing at play right now that's orchestrating this, that's causing all the divide and conquer tactics. And now where we're at is this thing that I've been worried about and many others have been worried about, which is the digital ID. Now, you done a video, talk about it if you want, you don't have to, which was in Glasgow. That was one of the first videos I seen, and it was a guy that, what was it that happened?
I'm happy to talk about that. That's my first video that kind of, well, it's one of my, in the recent times, the kind of videos that kind of blew up as well. One of my few viral videos. I was just walking down Glasgow city centre. I've moved there recently, and I just noticed this guy it looked like he was peeing against the wall, right on just along Argyle Street.
I've done that as well, but
right, aye,
not during the day, but
right, broad daylight. So
it wasn't like down a lane.
No, it was right on the street. It was right on the street, right beside guys that were like busking.
Right. Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself, this is middle of the day. This is intense.
I haven't done
that. Right. I hope you haven't. So I just sat there and I was like, holy shit. So I thought, right, I'm going to message my friends about this because I was like, look, take a video. Look at this. Look at what's going on here. But the guy was standing there for that long. He was exposing himself. And then I started to think, what is he doing? And then it looked like he was like thrusting. And I thought, is he not peeing? Is he touching himself? Midday, right? Turning around looking at people. And then like two women walk by and he turns around and he kind of like thrusts toward them. Now I'm about 40 feet from it, so I can't tell if he's like this close to the women or they're a bit further away, but the intention wasn't good. So I just thought, I need to go tell the police about this. I need to speak to someone about this. Because I thought, if I go up and grab this guy or something, I'm going to be honest, I think I'm going to get done. I'm going to be the one that gets done for assault or something like that, right? So I run down to just along from Central Station and I get a police officer. And he's standing with this woman. And I just go up and I say to him and interrupt. And she's just a civilian. She's like from England somewhere. And he's chatting away and I explain like this is happening. She's like, why don't you knock him out? Why don't you knock him out? And the guy's like, no, I can't do that. He's like, there's too many cameras there. So he's kind of like, he understands, right? And I just say, well, he's up there. He's exposing himself. He's peeing or he could be touching himself. There's women walking by. I don't know if he's touched them, but it doesn't look good, right? And I say all of that to him. And then he seemed quite dismissive. And then he's like, oh yeah, we knew about that guy. We saw him earlier. He'll probably get the jail tonight. And I go, but he's
the police said that?
Aye, police officer
they'd seen
said
him
that.
Already?
This guy said that. And
what do you mean like, when they said seen him already? Like they've seen him do things like that already?
They've probably seen him cutting about, steaming, whatever
Right,
it is, earlier on through the town. So I think to myself, well, I just say, what about right now? Though not tonight. Like, what about now? He's harassing people now. He's potentially like harassing women. He's indecently exposing himself. Blah blah blah. And then he's like, do you know what, mate? Sorry, don't worry. I'll call it in. And he like pointed to his shoulder where he's like his walkie talkie, whatever the thing you call it in his radio. Sorry. And he was like, yeah, I'll call it in. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. And I just thought, he's not going to fucking call that in. So then I decided to go back to it, and then I decided to go home, and I'm like, I'm feeling like quite upset. So I make a video about it, and I just think, fuck it, and I just post it. The video kind of blows up a little bit, and then the next day I see I've got a voicemail and missed calls from the police. Now I kind of shit myself a little bit because I know that people have been arrested for like Facebook posts. There's a lot going on right now. And I just thought, well, I tried to make the video in a balanced way. I didn't make it as in like the police are bad or anything like that. I just gave the facts of this is what happened.
Yeah, you didn't
this
do a
was the response.
Or anything like you let the video.
I just gave the facts, and I was like that. I don't know why this police officer didn't take it seriously.
We won't describe anything. What we'll do is we'll put the clip up.
Yeah, and people can make that assumption themselves. And I'll give the details about the police officer. Right, I cannot believe what I've just seen, genuinely. So I live in the city centre of Glasgow, and I was walking down Argyle Street to my flat, right, from Glasgow Central to my flat, and I saw this guy. So I took a video just of him from far away in a public space, taking a video of him like peeing against the wall in the public where people are walking by. What the video doesn't show you, right, is that not long after that, two women walk by, separate women. He turns round, which I only assume he has his penis in his hand, turns round and starts like thrusting towards them, almost like touching them in the leg with it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is right in the middle of Glasgow city centre. This is right in the middle, right? So then I decide, to go to a police officer who's like just up the street, and I explain what's happened, and I'm saying he's harassing women right now, he's like causing public disturbance, like it's just not good, he's like exposing himself indecently, blah blah blah. And he just was like kind of laughing along while talking to this other person who wasn't a police officer. And he was like, guy, we've seen him earlier, he'll probably get the jail tonight. And I was like, but he's harassing women right now, he's harassing people right now. And I'm not here to jump on the bandwagon of two-tier policing or anything like that, but I was just shocked at the lack of care about it. They just did not, he just didn't care, or he couldn't do anything about it. He's like, I'll call it in to control, don't worry. I'm like, you're here right now, and that guy's up there harassing people with his penis out, women, and you're doing nothing about it. You're doing absolutely nothing about it. I don't know what's going on with this country. I don't know what's going on with the policing. I don't know if it's two-tier or whatever. I don't understand it, but if the goal is to like wind up people, then they're going to succeed, man. Like, I couldn't understand it. These two women actually got like harassed by this guy. Police phone, and I just think, right, holy shit. But then he answers, and he genuinely couldn't be nicer. And he was like, you made the video in a very balanced way. It's doing the rounds. Everyone in the station's seen it. I've been informed about it. It wasn't he was like the head of his like unit or something. He wasn't just like a police officer. Like, it's went to like higher up. And he said, can I just get some details? So I explained it to him, and I said, has there been like a record, a call in from that police officer who said he'd report it? And he's like, no, there was a call in from a separate person at the same time I spoke to that police officer who phoned the police, and the police arrived 10 minutes later, and by then the guy was gone. So someone's called it in after I've left. And
so it's not just been you, it's been multiple people?
Yes, someone has reported it. And I said everything to the police officer, and he was like, look, I just want to make an investigation, figure out if this police officer handled it in the right way or not. And I thought, well, that's fair. And he didn't insinuate, there's only so much he can say, but he kind of gave the impression of, he didn't seem happy about it, but he couldn't tell me if he didn't. He's like, look, I need to figure out whether he handled this correctly or incorrectly, but it seems like it might have been handled incorrectly. And I thought, fair enough. And then through that phone call, I explained everything to him, and he was like, look, you public are the eyes and ears. Like, we can't put people on the street without like evidence. So everyone right now, you're right, there's so much divide right now, people against the police, whatever. People call it two-tier, people call it propaganda, whatever. So they don't want to report to the police. But then he was on the phone, he was like, yeah, but and I said that to him, I was like, people just don't want to report because they see videos like this, nothing's getting done. He's like, yeah, but the more reports, the better, then we can put more boots on the ground.
Isn't it crazy that you said the first thing, right, so you've technically reported a crime?
Technically, meant to. Never got logged by a police officer.
But what? Right, so you've went to the police and said that. So the police were there, and you've went up to them.
Yep.
And he's kind of went, oh, we'll put it in, and you don't think he did. Then the police have contacted you back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't it crazy that in this day and age that you've not done anything wrong? All you've done is try to be a law-abiding citizen, if you want to call it.
Did the right thing.
You've contacted the police, and the police have contacted you, and your first reaction's pretty much fear.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if I was going to get, because before I made the video, I spoke to my friends. Like,
but isn't that crazy that that's how we're looking at the police just now?
It's a shame. It's a shame that's the case. It's a shame on both sides. I feel sorry for the good police who are getting grouped in with them, because they are them. I've got friends that are in the police who literally say to me, look, we good cops hate no one more than bad cops. So I think it's a shame that was my initial reaction, was this is bad news, this isn't good news. So I was pleasantly surprised when it happened, but it's a shame that is the narrative, but it's not completely,
because, like I say, we haven't mentioned anything of description just now.
Yep.
We won't, and we'll let the video, we'll put it up.
It's I mean, I got contacted by a radio station, and I did an interview with them about it.
What one?
I think it was Go Radio.
Right.
And I just thought, I just wanted to be very careful with myself, so I was like quite obvious about it. But the guy was actually really good, and he's saying the same things. He's like that. Look, it almost doesn't even need to be said, description or anything. The video's there, and he's like, it doesn't need to be said, because all the comments in that video are literally like, why is no one saying what everyone's thinking?
Yep.
And I'm like, I didn't say that. I just made the video, and that's why the police, I think, couldn't tell me to take the video down or anything, because as long as I'm putting it in a balanced way, here's the facts, you deal with it. Suddenly the police are like, well, 250,000 of people have seen this video. I don't know what the population of Glasgow is, like 500,000. That's a lot. That could be a lot. You know, we need to deal with this. So the police officer genuinely seemed dead sincere.
There will be people that take it because for their narrative. There's no two ways about it. You're going to find people that want to find that. Like, let's say,
I don't want to be boxed into it. I'm just giving facts.
Let's say it was.
Absolutely.
Look, I've seen the video. Let's say it was a person that was fake Glasgow. You know.
Yep.
Right, white in that, and let's say you put that up, do you think people would have taken that video and clipped it? At the end of the day, like, people want to. At the end of the day, if we see anybody doing bad, we report it.
Yep.
And that's it. But you, because let's say we've seen the video, and you're probably a bit sceptical because you don't want to be in that brand of now looking like a racist.
It's a shame that was going through my mind. That's when I'm thinking, I'm actually being indiscriminatory here, because it wouldn't matter what the guy was.
Exactly.
I'm just reporting this guy needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was a shame that was the what came from that video though. I didn't expect.
What do you mean?
The women that messaged me with photos of the same guy when he's harassed them, saying this guy harassed me in Rob Royston, this guy harassed me in Kelvin Grove Park, and there's a few others saying I've seen this guy about. These are women, and I'm like, they're messaging me as if I'm the police almost, but they're just looking for someone to confide in. And I'm like, I'm really sorry this has happened, but you need to report it, because that police officer said to me on the phone, he's like, that harass us with reports, like, no matter how small, the more we have, the better. I don't know if they're getting told not to put boots on the ground without evidence. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even going to try and speculate, but I'm like, it felt like he was trying to tell me without telling me. Do you know what I mean? He was like that, look, everyone needs to report this, otherwise we can't do it. And so from that, and then the comments on that video and the DMs I've got from that video about women talking about the same type of people, their experiences with them in the last couple of months. Yeah. And it is, I could show you them, I won't because it's private, but I've literally got like, there could be 30 in there, 30 different women saying it's happened to me.
Did you get any backlash? Did you get anybody challenging you as a racist or anything?
Well, in the comments, do you know what? Actually, no, I didn't. I think it's because I tried to be really unbiased, and as you say, I can't control what people do with my video. People might take that and go, right, let's just, if you want to talk about politics for a second, people take it and go left and go, look, he's a racist, and that fits their narrative. But then some people might take it on the right and go, see, he's with us, he thinks the same as us, like this whole immigration thing, whatever. And I'm thinking, no, I'm in the middle.
Yep.
This is what's happened. What you want to do with my content is nothing to do with me. But if people want to give me shit, look at my video and see what I said.
I'm the exact same. I'm not there and there. I'm there. And do you know why I'm there? Because I understand what's happening up there that's filtering down to make this all happen. I've told people all the time, I've told you the documentary called The Agenda.
Yeah.
Again, you don't need to speak about it. I'll speak on it, but everything, let's be honest, since 2020, the world's went fucking nuts.
Yeah, life was so different before 2020.
And what we're seeing now is like I said, I know that this is a plan because they've ticked the boxes, they keep ticking the boxes, and the thing that we're going to go into, which is the digital ID, is the end goal. But I mean, that video, when I seen that first one, and it's just by pure chance you're a software developer and you can talk about the digital ID, but I think I seen you said that you did get a lot of messages and you're saying that women are getting scared and stuff.
Well,
but
it worries me just because I moved to the city centre last month with my partner, and she's really pretty, okay? I'm totally punching. And I don't want to worry about her safety, but city centre, she has to travel for work, like a couple of stations out of Glasgow. I'm not going to say where specifically, but she may have to get like a last train home at night, and it's dark. So I try and meet her when I can, but I can't always. And that's why it kind of freaked me out, because the very next day, I don't know if you've seen the other video I made, she got harassed by two guys on the train coming home the next day. So she was on the train, and guys without her permission.
From Glasgow?
I don't know if they were Scottish or Glaswegian, but they weren't. They were two Asian men, right? Okay. I'm just going to say that, right? And that's just a descriptive term.
Okay.
These men were taking photos of her without her consent on the train. She's so I'm quite jealous. She's quite a present person. Put her earphones in, the world could be on fire, and she's just like da. And that's a blessing and a curse.
In her own bubble.
Yeah. And then the train conductor comes up to her and goes, "Do you know these men?" So they were through the glass on the other side on the platform, just like taking photos of her. And she was like, no. He runs out, goes fucking ape shit with them. Get off the platform, blah, blah, blah. And then he decides to sit with her the whole time on the train home just to make sure she's okay, which I thought's a really selfless thing to do.
Yeah.
And she didn't seem that fazed by it. Like, that crazily fazed. She's quite a strong person. She's had quite a life, so she's quite an independent person. And I'm not trying to freak out too much to make her worried. Do you know what I mean? But as a man, as the protector in the relationship, as the one who wants to take care of his missus, it just kind of... it kind of scared me a little bit when that happened. Now, I'm not saying all men are like that or whatever. I know I've just kind of gave a description, but that's just the fact. Though that was the type of two men that were taking photos of her without her consent, and it kind of. Now you can, as you say, you can get guys here, white British men that do it as well. But it's just those are the guys that done it with her.
Listen, I've been places and I've been messaging people, and it's not the first time I've heard that. Your mainstream media is not reporting on it, and that's a frustrating thing. And that if you question anything now, you're labelled as a racist. They're trying to call me what is it they're calling me? They're calling me immigration campaigner. And I said to these, I says, I'm not I says, my campaign has started for the vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine nearly killed me, fact. And I've been campaigning on that, and you fuckers in the media have been ignoring that for long enough. And more people are waking up to that. But then it's like, what's the next step that they're going to wake up to? Because if I'm saying that this is a plan and everybody else is saying it's a plan, and we're at that point where this plan's about to be fully implemented, then what are we meant to say here? And I've been trying to warn people, and it's just crazy times that we're in, and it's good to see a young guy like yourself going, I'm concerned about my future. Because I spoke to you before, and right, so you're 25, right?
Aye.
No, I'm older than you. I'm not going to dispute. I'm not going to tell people my age. But anyway, I look younger. You told me.
You do.
And basically, when I was your age, right, I could go out Thursday night, I could go out Friday night, I could go out Saturday night, I could even go out a Sunday night, right, with a little wage, right, because you used to go out Thursday night would like be 80p a drink, right?
Student night.
Aye. Friday night would be £1, £1.50 a drink. Saturday was always a bit dearer, maybe £2.50, £3 a drink, right? Sunday, like, do you know what I mean? But that's what you could do. But I mean, I'm looking at the town now, right? I was out just last week with my mates. I was sober, and I'm looking round. It's a Friday night, and I'm like, Glasgow city centre's dead, man. And I'm like, where's the queues out the doors? Like, where? And like, me and my mate went out, and it was like end of the month, and back in the day, like Sucky Hall Street, like you probably won't remember, but Sucky Hall Street was like, that was the place to be. It was one of the best.
Before COVID, it was like that.
And it used to be like you walk up and you couldn't move.
Yeah.
But they have collapsed society that much now, crippling the economy, crippling everybody, crippling youngsters like you, that you just don't have the same kind of what I done back in the day, which was go out, enjoy yourself. But you're now got a concern at the age of 25. You shouldn't have to be worrying about these things.
Just be enjoying our 20s. I think there's definitely it's hard to afford, but I think COVID changed things because suddenly people were locked up and they were like, oh wait a minute, I don't need to go out every weekend, I don't need to spend all this money on booze and going out. So I think people found new vices, whether that's going for hill walks, whether that's cycling, running clubs. So I think definitely part of it is just through COVID people found other things to do with their weekends, and then going out never became the same. Like I turned 18 in 2018, right? In 2018, 2019, and then up until 2020, like going out was feral. It was something completely different. And now, like it's still not the same. And I think one, people can't afford it, but two, I definitely think part of it to blame is just people doing different things through COVID.
I'm not promoting alcohol here, like, but what
no,
I'm saying,
but going and having a laugh.
When you're young, you go out and you enjoy yourself, and I'm just like, I just don't see that what we had when we were young. You know, it just seems a bit. Just the world's went mad since 2020, and again, I think it's just part of the plan. But look, like, we're on here, I'd want to talk about the digital ID.
Of course.
Now, again, you've done another video. I seen it, and I went, right. And the fact is that you're a software developer, you know, and I'm sitting there, right, well, now I'll give you my take on it, but you can tell me, as a software developer, right, have you heard about the digital ID before it got announced, or was that the first time you heard about it?
No, I thought about it for a couple of years. I've seen people speak about it. I just thought, I think when the COVID passport became a thing, that's when it first clicked in my head. That's before I was even in software. I was like, that's interesting that you suddenly need this thing to explore your freedom, to go travelling, to whatever. If you don't have this, then you can't go travelling, you can't go do X, Y, and Z. So that was the first thing where I thought, I wonder how far that could go in a software sense. Because I was only just starting to think about what I wanted. I wasn't a software developer then, but I was starting to think about studying about it and stuff.
Did you take the COVID check?
I did.
You did? Do you regret it?
I do, but only because I do and I don't. And the truth is, I was in a different situation then. It wasn't peer pressure or something like that, but I kind of like gave in to like surrounding opinions. I was very, 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 very wary of it, and I kind of caved in. But I was only like 20 at the time, so I still am a kid, but I was definitely a kid then. But I am just fortunate that I think I've walked away unscathed, unlike yourself. So that's why I'm not like, I'm fortunate I don't have to regret it in that sense, but I would not take one again. Absolutely not.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I wouldn't take another thing. I do regret it. I do regret it. But I'm not going to. It doesn't keep me up at night, you know.
So if they announced another pandemic tomorrow and they said, well, we've got this Jag, would you take it?
No, I wouldn't. I'll take care of myself.
Have you kind of like lost faith in other pharmaceuticals?
I knew then, but as I say, I was in a different situation with people around me, and I was a bit more reliant on them, and it was like
they kind of
a big deal.
They targeted the young ones, but because it was kind of like no COVID passport, and you can't go out, you can't go to nightclubs. That's what Nicola Sturgeon done.
Yeah,
she locked that system into play, and it was all this barcode shit, and we weren't allowed to, restriction of movement while they were all partying, and people were travelling. They were doing what they wanted. But one rule for them, different rule for us. But
and the lie that it stopped transmissions.
It
didn't.
I could tell
I know
you,
we could dive into that.
I
but
could tell you absolutely everything about it. I'm like, get me a doctor and I'll debate them. They don't like it.
Fair enough.
But I mean, they kind of captured you. Now, did you sign up to the COVID passport then?
No, I never had one. I was fortunate that I never started travelling again until abroad till 2022, and all I had to do was a test to prove I didn't have it to get on my flight. So I never actually had. Oh wait, it was a QR code actually. I did actually had a form of it on my phone.
Yeah,
I must have.
The QR code was different.
I had. What did I have? I had an app that I deleted where it was proof of my jabs.
Well, you'd have that.
But I never had to show it to go on a flight.
So I know someone that did sign up to the COVID passport.
Right, so I don't think I had the actual one.
Right, now you would know because I watched them do it.
Right.
Okay. And when they done it, they brought their phone out, right? And it had to, and I tried to do it as well, by the way.
Right.
Now, luckily, it didn't pick up my face.
Right, okay.
Now, looking back, I'm like, when it was doing it, it was like scanning, it was doing all this shit.
Oh no, I never done that, no.
But that's what made me go, I went, that's fucking nuts. I says, that's like Matrix type, like, this is like, it was like, honestly, it was like scanning and it was doing this thing and I was like, no. I was like, no, I'm not signing up to that. So luckily, I don't know if theirs registered, but I was like, but now I look back and I go, was the COVID-19 passport really the digital ID?
It was the first test to get people on devices that could hold a digital ID. I think that's the point that it's not getting spoken about enough, is that a digital ID isn't. I don't know if we want to go straight in it now, but it's
no. Well, I think we've all gone it. I think that COVID was a testing ground for the digital ID to abide by the rules, watch everybody go into fear, take experimental jags, make them stand 6 meters apart, make them do all this mad stuff that they done, when people were hugging on the telly with plastic sheets and all that. I don't know if you remember that. People went to concerts and they were segregated in pens like sheep. These all things.
Yeah.
And you look back and go, wow, but this is what they do, and they ramp up the fear in people. And I think that COVID was the beginning of, let's see what we can get away with. And let's be honest here, now I know they have got away with harming millions of people globally with that vaccine and killed people.
Yeah, people. Yeah, because obviously during COVID, and someone had COVID and died in a car crash, it was a COVID death.
Well, I mean,
to try and keep the numbers high, to keep people scared.
Nobody knows about the actual protocol the government put in place, by the way, and that also.
Really?
I've done podcasts.
I know you know Hunters.
I know enough. That's why they hate me. But anyway, right. So let's get into the digital ID, and obviously you've thought about the COVID passport, and now it's pretty much nearly here, kid.
It already is.
Okay.
Apparently, it's been rolled out to veterans at the moment. I don't know how true that is, but apparently they're getting. This is what I've realised of how I think this is going to be rolled out. You know the poll tax in the 1980s or something, when everyone just turned up in London and rejected it? I think it's because they tried to give the poll tax to everyone at the same time. I don't think they're going to do that with digital ID. I don't think that's how you would do it. You don't do that with any feature in software. You roll out to certain users first. Once it passes, you then roll out to other users, and then eventually your whole app, your whole customer base will then use the new feature. That's how it's done with large places. In my company, we do that. When we roll out a feature, we'll give it to what we call super users. So that's people with a higher level of status on the website. They'll get a new feature before the rest do. They'll give feedback. How does it work? How does it not? Before it goes to the rest. Apparently veterans have been getting it recently. I don't know how true that is. I only came across it the other day, but I have had from my TikTok, I've had people email me, ask for my email, then email me that people owning small businesses have been told by November 18th that they have to give a proof of identity or a digital ID for all their workers. So that's next month. Yep. So it's already started. It's not fully here yet, but I don't think they're going to roll out in one where people can reject it. I think
it's like a drip feed.
Yep, I think they're going to do it group by group by group by group.
Well,
because
this is...
then people don't feel like they can fight back in that little group. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing. So they brought in the Online Safety Act, I think it was.
Aye, I know. They don't even need that to verify your age, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, but... Well, you can tell me after.
We can, but... Well, we can't. You just don't, it's not the only way about it. That scan thing is not necessary to prove your age. There's other ways.
So there is a part. So if you go onto any website, over 18 websites, right?
Apparently.
Well, let's be honest. All guys do, right? Well, most guys... I was sitting there and I was like...
For research purposes.
And it says proof of identity, but not only that, digital ID.
Aye, it's your digital identity. Aye.
So you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've seen people talk about it. Aye.
And I was sitting there going, this is nuts. So when they brought in the online, I mean, look, they've sold it an absolute cracker. They'll sell you this is what they do. They sell you the dream. They'll sell you the solution.
We want to protect kids.
How are we going to protect kids? There's a lot easier ways to protect kids than this, by the way, But is it really about... That's my question. Is it really about protecting our kids?
No, it's not. It's just about getting people's IDs on this. Do you know what I mean? It's just about... There's other ways, you don't need to go that extreme to verify someone's age or identity. Do you know what I mean? Where you need a digital... log of them and everything that they are. Pretty much I didn't know that with the COVID passports, they scanned everything. That's just them slowly. I think that's just building a database of everyone's digital data. And I think once you have a digital ID, I think once you are in that database, it's game over. And I think the goal is to not. And I think that's what the Online Safety Act is. It's not quite digital ID, but it's you're right. I think it's just another COVID passport. It's another testing ground to see how people will go on it. But all people do is, all kids do now, right? Especially when you're a teenager, you're like, I'll find a way. So they'll just get a VPN. Those legit VPNs have already been blocked by the UK government. They're trying to. So then they just go and get jailbroken, dodgy VPNs, which bring in more viruses for them to get on these websites. So it's just it's not the way to do it. But the biggest thing for me is that the public weren't consulted about that. This huge digital thing that came out that does affect millions of people. Let's be honest, are using these things. That's a scary thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, the drip feeding exercise, so I've been banging on about it for ages. Another thing that I think is part of it is the Tesco Club Card.
Tesco Club Card, okay.
So, think about it. Again, it's tied to your email and that. You get a club card, and we'll get into that, but basically the thing that's going around just now is the carbon footprint tax. The carbon footprint on the food. I've just showed you something that's in my fridge. It's got the carbon footprint. I didn't realise it was that. It was here now. I thought it's here alreght. I've already been on the ball with it. So the Tesco Club Card is basically monetising your food, your input. So assuming people are going to the Tesco and they think they're using a club card for a discount. I personally don't. I mean, what do you think of that?
So you think they're using it to figure out what they're using?
Mm-hmm. To track everything.
It's one way of doing it. I mean, yeah, it's probably not. I mean, it's already... It wouldn't be that hard. I mean, if you go on online shopping, you can find out if you've got an account with Asda, and you can look at your online shopping from 5 years ago, and it's got all your food there anyway. So it wouldn't be... I don't think they need to... They probably are doing that, but it wouldn't need to be hidden as much.
I think it's more data collection, so it's to try and figure out, what people are doing and how they're eating and all that. And like I say, with that sandwich that's went around just now,
and 8.1 carbon footprint.
And I've just showed you
something. Aye, those sausages. I couldn't believe it.
Aye, and I seen that ages ago, and I was like, there, it's there. And now everybody's talking about it, and I went, I spoke about this before.
Yesterday's news.
It's like at what point do you realise the conspiracy theorist is basically correct? And so here's the one, right, regarding Tesco. So in Tesco, know how you now I've got one round the corner here, and you used to go in and your fridge was all full. Like it would just be full, and it'd be open, so it wouldn't have a door on it.
Right.
But what they've done now is they put doors on them.
Aye, to stop stealing, they say.
Well, to stop stealing, but
Will it be a digital ID to access that soon?
well, there you go.
So it's already there. Yeah.
So again, why is it there? Well, you look at China. What happens in China? You walk up, and basically you have a scan, and then again you've got this carbon footprint tax. That's not carbon footprint, but you've got this carbon footprint thing. So I'm watching it slowly but surely getting implemented, and I've been saying it for a long time as well. Stop using the self-scanning checkouts. That's the problem as well. That's not about convenience. That is basically, see when people say people are coming into this country to take their jobs, it's the fucking robots taking over your jobs.
Aye.
Do you get me?
Aye, it can, yeah. It's funny with
and they've got they've got the cameras on them now as well.
Yeah. With AI and software, it's funny, like people who aren't in software, like specifically think AI is going to take people's jobs tomorrow. But as a software developer, me and other software developers think it's actually further behind than you think. Like with that, so it's not going to be as quick. But yeah, no, the technology to do that you don't even need AI for. You're right, like what you're talking about, scanning it. It's not like I can figure out in my head how to build that now. Do you know what I mean? It's not that hard. It's just, I think, as I said, I think they're just doing it bit by bit now before it's like full on digital ID. It's
how close do you think we are to digital ID?
I think it's already here.
When you say that it's already here, what do you mean?
Well, I think the COVID passport laid the foundation. That was the point I was going to get into about the COVID passports. It's not about the passport itself. So, right, there's a thing going on now. Do you know? I made the video about Apple in the UK. So the UK government, so Apple are known, they're very successful, but one of the reasons they're successful, especially with their MacBooks and things that companies work with them, is because of their end-to-end encryption. It's known as their advanced security feature. This feature basically like means that no one can really get in. So Apple like keep it private. I mean, it was known for years that if a criminal got picked up by the police and they wanted access to his iPhone, Apple wouldn't help them access it because they're like, once we show you how to get in once, that's a backdoor that everyone else could like get into. So with what's going on with Apple at the moment, a few months ago, the UK went to Apple and said, we want you to give us a backdoor to all Apple phones globally in case we can deem anything a UK national threat. Apple said no, because Trump and JD Vance fought against it. JD Vance was pure against it, right? I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter or anything, just saying that that's what happened. So then the UK government went quiet, and then literally 2-3 weeks ago, they came to a new one where Apple agreed that for all UK-based iPhones, they will turn off that feature altogether. So it's no longer a backdoor, but your iPhone, if you're in the UK, if you go in your settings, you will not have advanced security feature. If it's like, I don't know what iPhone it's from, I've got the 15, could be a few up from there, we're at the 17 now. All UK-based Apple iPhones don't have it. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the COVID passport, the digital ID isn't, if I have a digital ID, that means they can surveil my phone. The surveillance is the biggest thing with ID for me, digital ID with me at the moment. It's the fact that if your phone can hold a digital ID, then the software that holds a digital ID is also the same software that they've just asked for no security features to be on that can be surveilled. That's the problem. They need everyone on these devices. They need to surveil everyone. You need everyone on iPhones that can hold these digital IDs, that can hold COVID passports. I don't know if you've literally seen the other week. I was going to make a video about it, but I didn't. Ryanair put out an email that all their boarding passes will be just digital now. So it's always paper and digital, just digital. So these people who are like...
Who does Ryanair?
Ryanair. So I'm like,
Have you heard about the new EES system?
No, I've not heard about that.
So what they've done is there's this thing, it's like Shenzhen or something like that. So it just happened. I don't mean to butt in, and make sure you get back into this. Because I've got like I need to get brain fog and stuff, so I need to get out. But basically on October 12th, which was just
Other week.
There's a new entry-exit system put in place.
Oh, for all people going in and out of Europe and for the UK with the biometric
EU,
scans. But you do it for America as well, yeah.
Which is the biometric scans, which is, me personally, I think it's just the beginning.
Just a collection of data. Data's the new... People, for years, it's been water, it's been shelter, it's been food, it's been warmth, it's been the number one resources to control and the most valuable, but data's going to be the new resource that's the most valuable in the world. But Ryanair have done that. So if you think about that, suddenly people are like, okay, I've always had a paper when I'm older, I'm this and that. Okay, so for me to get through, what do I need? I'm going to need a phone that can hold that. Same type of phone. They are the only type of devices that can be surveilled. Older ones can't. An old Nokia 3310, a flip phone, they can't be surveilled. Do you know what I mean? So right now there's a thing going on called, I don't know if you know about EU chat control. So that's basically where there's a big fight there now against it, where people's devices, they put an AI or an LLM on a phone, and they...
On a LLM what, sorry?
An LLM is a large language model, just AI, another word for AI. So they put one on your device, and it basically, chat control surveils everything, every stroke of your keyboard, whether you're in your notes app, whether it's a message to your missus, whether it's WhatsApp, doesn't matter. Before you send it, you might delete it, doesn't matter. It will take it all, then categorise you. Whoever does that, whatever they want with that, goes off to a server. I can have guesses. I'm not going to speculate what they want to do with it, whether you're speaking bad about the government, whether you're speaking bad about anything. So chat control is happening at the same time this Apple thing has happened with the UK. And they're saying that if you don't have a digital ID, you won't be able to work. So now they're going to need everyone on these devices. So a digital ID tells whoever it is, hey, this person can be surveilled completely because they have a device which this advanced security feature has been turned off and it can be surveilled. You can't surveil someone on an older phone. It's not got the software for it. It's not emitting anything anywhere. But these are all connected to online databases.
Is it only on Samsung?
So I think it's coming for Android. So I don't know exactly what's happening with that. I just know that the Apple thing was like, it was like the first domino to fall. I think the first big domino where Apple said, you know what, we just turn it off. We're not giving you a back door, because if Apple gave the UK government a back door, that means for hackers, they know there's a back door out there and they can now figure out what that is and hack in. That's the issue. Do you know what I mean? And this is also another thing with digital ID. Digital ID doesn't allow surveillance. It tells the government or the company who can be surveilled. If they've got a digital ID, that must mean they have a device that can be surveilled, where it's like people are being arrested for Facebook posts. What happens when they have access to all your photos, all your messages, all your DMs? I mean, if my Snapchat group chat with the boys got leaked, you'd be arrested or something. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all just stupid jokes. Mm-hmm. But digital ID is like the middle of a spider web. It's not. You imagine, you know, when you ever go on your phone and it says log in with Gmail, and you can do that across like 10 different things. Imagine that for everything. So now suddenly you make a podcast or video on TikTok, it gets taken down. They're like, okay, what else have you got? Oh, they might have a Facebook account, they might have a bank account, they might have this, but it's really hard to pull all that together. It's not worth their time. But suddenly they're like, oh, a digital ID. That digital ID is linked to this TikTok account. Oh, suddenly it's linked to this, this, and this. So it's like, if you imagine a spider web, digital ID is an entry point into a database where there's every digital data about you in one place, and the digital ID tells them where to target. It's known as like a federated data platform. It's the same as do you know Palantir, that company it's like they make predictive policing tools where they think people will be, these things they're doing with their software, like they might do this or that. They run the NHS's federated data platform where they bring together everyone's data into one place. So I don't know if I've explained that well, but the digital ID is like the entry point into a database where everything about you is. Without that, it's really hard to connect the dots and know where you are at all the time, like where you are. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? I don't know, like some days my brain just goes and it just rattles on.
Yeah, so basically it's about keeping an eye on you.
Well, do you know, is it Larry Ellison, the head of Oracle? He's like one of the top 10 richest people on the planet, right? So he runs that company. It's a software AI company now, right? And there's literally a video of him saying, you can find it on your phone, where he's saying that imagine a world where everything's been tracked all the time, how much the criminals would be on their best behaviour because they're getting tracked to them. And he's like that. And also the public would be on their best behaviour all the time because we're tracking everything they do all the time. And this guy recently just got he donated 280 million to the TBI, the Tony Blair Institute. I seen that the other day. So this is another like software guy literally telling you that you're going to be in your best behaviour because you're going to be tracked all the time. So yes, the digital ID basically is like an entry point into a database that has information about you everywhere. Then, because when people say the information about you, you're ready to give it to Google, you're ready to give it to Instagram, TikTok. I'm like, yeah, but it's in their own databases and there's nothing really linking them unless someone wanted to spend time doing it. But now that digital ID gives you access to like all of it. Once that digital ID is attached to everything, then you've kind of got no chance.
But again, you've just said there, I've got my views. You've just said there that he's saying that it's about safety.
It's the guise of safety. I'm actually not. I'm
So
actually.
what you're going to get is, right, you're going to get people saying, well, if it's about safety, then what's the problem with it? I want to live in a safe
Okay.
country.
I think it's trust. I think that the digital ID is the most obvious next step in technological advancement with all software. I'm actually not an advocate for digital ID, but in principle, I support it. A digital ID that gives you access to all your stuff everywhere. There's a log of you that's hard to have fraud against. You can keep everything in one place. Estonia's got one now, but their government don't seem hell-bent on controlling them. I think they've got one in Poland and in the Netherlands. Digital ID as a principle, I am all for, but I do not trust this government to handle it properly. That's my issue. I think if everyone could be trusted and everyone was loving and kind, a digital ID would only open up more doors, but it's not going to be used in that as a power grab. It's a power grab.
So you say you don't trust them. What do you mean? What do you think they're going to do then?
Just use it for control. Like, I mean, I'm not going to speculate too much, but I mean, if someone wanted to, like, they have access to everything with you. We've all got our secrets. We've all got our stuff. You know what I mean? You've got your journal where you maybe journal about some bad thoughts you've had or whatever it is, and suddenly someone can access all that and use it as evidence. So as evidence against you. I don't know. But the one thing with digital ID is, like, if they rolled back mass data retention, right? That would be one where they don't keep everyone's data for a certain amount of time. There's a VPN, the NordVPN. They have companies come in every once in a while and make sure that they are clearing out customers' data so they don't track their websites. But I don't trust it. You've got the Snoopers Charter, right? That's like it's basically an act in 2016 that was brought in. And basically all ISPs, internet service providers, must keep data of all websites visited for a year. But any agency can contact them, whether that's the Welsh Ambulance Service or MI5, they can contact and say, for this person, what have they visited? It's already came out that MI5 kept data for longer than they should have. So it's like, it just can't be trusted. So that's my point. And also, I don't trust it. Like, it's a hacker's dream. Someone hacks into your Google account, you can change your email, you can change your password.
I've been hacked.
But can you change your...
So here's an example.
Do you know what I mean? Can you change your face? Can you change your fingerprint?
I'll tell you my opinion on digital ID, and it's very hard for me not to see this at this point. Now, everything of mine did get hacked. So I took on the Prime Minister, I showed you the video.
Yep.
Month and a half later, everything got hacked, right? Now, I've experienced getting hacked to the point that my laptop even got hacked, that I had to go and buy a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And then even my PlayStation account got hacked, right? Now, your digital ID is not just going to be linked to safety, if you want to call it. It's not for that. It's for control. Now, I own a digital PlayStation.
Yes.
Right?
So yeah.
Now, here's one for you. Did you? I take it you had a disc version in
no,
the past.
I know I have a digital one now.
Okay, right. So here's an example for you. If my PlayStation got hacked, right, but I had a disc version, I could still play my games. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why can't I play that one?
Yeah, because it's all online, it's all digital.
Because it's all been online.
Yeah.
Use that example with cash in a cashless society.
Oh yeah, CBDC is programmable money.
So what's a CBDC?
Central bank and digital currency. It's just a new type of currency. Imagine a pound that's only on your bank account, but someone can... I mean, I've already seen that it was spoken about in 2020. I think it was Rishi Sunak that said, imagine code that, money that could be programmed to make sure you're spending it on the right things. That was his quote. Yep. Define the right things. Is it carbon footprint? Is it social credit score? I don't know. I have my thoughts, but I just want to provide this is how you can do it with the software that's available.
Well, I mean,
now,
I can provide,
but it's already happening.
You can provide evidence to show, right? So COVID again, but what they're doing just now is they're using the same kind of strategies they did with COVID, and they're getting rid of the cash.
Yeah, cashless society. Yeah,
cashless society, which I'm trying to tell people: you see cash, you get it, you take it out, use it as much as possible. Try and boycott anywhere that says they're cashless.
Also gets everyone poor because £50, £50. But if you have a fee on it,
£49.75p.
So then inflation goes up. We need more money.
Exactly. It happens. So I'm trying to emphasise to people: you see a cash machine, take your money out, the money out, and try and use it. Don't get me wrong, I don't have cash on me all the time, and you do. And the thing is, the phone is the problem. The phone when you look back now. And I remember that. I remember when the adverts, you might have been younger, but I remember the adverts when they were advertising for the chip and pin. Right? Then it became contactless, and it was a guy shooting down a shoot like this water flume, and he would just like tap. That's how quick it was. It was tap. It was convenience. And you look now and you go, those fuckers, man. You've played a blinder there. You've made everything convenient.
Yeah.
To bring us into this system of complete control. Now again, if the digital ID is for safety, that's fair enough. Like you said, I don't trust them, and I'll never trust them, especially what happened to me. Especially what's happened to me now. Now let's look into the future and what they say. The documentary explains a lot. We're going into food shortages,
right?
Because the farmers are on their arse. Your mainstream media is not telling you that. The mainstream media is lying to everybody, and that's the one thing I'm worried about next as well as the digital ID. What they want to do is they want people eating lab-grown meat.
I'm on a cart. I eat mostly like meat from butchers. I don't want to eat that shit.
Yeah, you
so
don't want
bad
to eat it now, but STV were advertising it.
Yeah.
2 months ago, lab-grown meat.
Yes.
As a human being, we were not made to consume anything that wasn't natural.
Yes, I agree.
Right? We are human beings. We are not meant to consume anything chemical.
The healthiest people eat like good grass-fed meat.
100%. So again, you link this to the farmers. Now, when I speak to the farmers, again, this might be something you might say, he's a mad tinfoil hat wearer. They spray the skies.
I know about that. Okay.
Now again, you want to say I'm a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Fine. They already admitted this in Washington, and not only that, the government put 50-60 million pound in to block out the sun.
I seen that report. I made a TikTok about that, I think.
So again, Mr. Bill Gates told people he wants to block out the sun. Why would you want to block out the sun that, number one, has healing elements to it? That's fact. It actually has healing elements. Well, you think about it, you go on holiday, how much better do you feel?
We are complicated plants. Photosynthesis, like we enjoy the sun. It's
exactly.
It's good for us.
Food, and not only that, it helps grow, it helps nature, it helps so much. Why the fuck would you want to block out the sun? For climate change, right? So how am I meant to believe climate change when I know that you fuckers can manipulate the weather? That's been proven.
Yeah.
They've told us 3 times. Dubai was cloud seeding. There was another flood with cloud seeding, and I think the one in Texas recently was cloud seeding and all that. So we know they can manipulate the weather. And not only that, when I speak to the farmers, they're saying when it comes down and it's affecting the crops. Now they're doing that stuff with Bovier and all that. Now the Bovier's affecting them all. Now let's link the digital ID to the new world that they want, which will use the climate change, and now you're harming the planet, and then what happens is we need to give you a carbon footprint score. Right? And then you sit there and go, well, is that a conspiracy theory? Well, it's not, because it's on sandwiches, and I've just literally showed you my hex sausages, which has got the carbon footprint score on it. So why would they put a carbon footprint score on food and want us to do that? So when you look even deeper and you see that Glasgow City Council, Edinburgh City Council, all these councils around the UK have got a thing called 20-minute livable neighbourhood or 15-minute city, which they've been trialling out in Oxford.
I've seen that. People were like smashing the bollards and stuff.
So Oxford's been doing it. So when you're in your digital imprisonment with a digital ID, they'll say to you, well, you're harming it. Why would you want to travel longer than 20 minutes?
Because you're harming the planet, all that stuff.
We're going to give you your food. We're going to give you shopping. We're going to give you doctors. We're going to give you hospital. Everything within your 20-minute radius. Why would you need to leave that area? Then again, you look at the cameras, you look at the system, you look at the carbon footprint, then you look at your digital ID. Electric cars, can they turn them off? Yeah. Then the next thing is, which is a big one, the WHO signed away everybody's bodily autonomy. So you take yourself back to the COVID passport. What happened when you didn't have your COVID passport, you didn't have your vaccine, you weren't allowed to travel or do anything at all.
Yeah.
So WHO announced we want to do mandatory vaccines. So now the digital ID is linked to your health. You can't use the hospital NHS. Why? Because you're not vaccinated. You can't use this. They're crippling everybody, dividing everybody to bring this thing that they don't want to know, which could unify this whole bloody country. The digital ID it's not about safety, it's about total control. Yeah. Do you agree or disagree?
I think that if it's used in the wrong way, then it can be for complete surveillance and complete control. Yes. I'm not going to say that's what they're going to do, but I have my own thoughts about it. But it's, as I said earlier, I think that digital ID, if people could be trusted, if they were honest, then it could keep people safe, and if we knew they wouldn't use it to control people, then absolutely. But I don't think that's going to happen.
So again, if it's about safety, why have they got all these other things in play? The carbon footprint. They're telling us people are harming the planet. You see it all the time. Climate change this, climate change that. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And that's to bring in this digital. Now that's the thing. Got it.
Nice.
Now here's the one for you. If you've got the TV there, now I know that the mainstream media are lying. I know they're lying, and I can see right through them, and I know how much they're lying now. Let's say in the future that they're telling us things, but we know it's a lie. Who's not to say they control the narrative? And then that's linked to your digital ID. And then you're sitting there going, I can't speak about that. That's a possibility as well.
Wait, so do you mean that they're saying X, you're saying it's actually Y, but if you speak up, they can turn you off through your digital ID?
Well, if we know that they're going to lie about things, and yeah, they can freeze your bank account. I mean, they've done it in, I think it was it somewhere in Vietnam?
In Vietnam, over like 6 million accounts got shut down because they didn't comply with.
I think it was 80 million. Somebody
was
said 80, something ridiculous, but they shut down all these bank accounts
in one night because they didn't agree with the digital ID or the implementation of it.
Yeah. So why? What for me? The digital IDs should be about choice. I've said this before.
Yes.
If you want a digital ID, you can have a digital ID.
Yes.
If you don't want it, that's a choice. Why would I want it?
Same as the vaccine.
Exactly. So, but why would they? And the thing is, you watch the WHO, they know that the level of people getting vaccines now, including child vaccination, has dropped massively. The reason they've dropped massively is because your last mRNA jag nearly killed millions of people.
Yeah.
So there's people that have lost trust in that, and now the WHO want everybody to get vaccinated. There's a woman that was on the stage a few weeks ago saying that we want to get billions of people, and it's like, well, how are they going to implement that?
Yeah.
Your digital ID. Now maybe I'm just a mad whack job Fruit Loop.
Well, it's all in the World Economic Forum website. It tells you like the 10, 12 things they'll do it for. Have you seen that image? It's in the circle.
I talk about the circle a lot.
But like that on their website, that's actually it's just for digital ID, and it tells you like the 10 sustainability, all those things. Got a photo of it. So no, it's already there. I mean, I actually got into a bit of a spat on my TikTok the other day, replying to a guy in one of my videos. He said I didn't know what I was talking about. I was lying. And it was a shame actually, because every answer he gave, it was like, have you looked at the GDPR? Have you looked at the data things that the government says they'll abide by with the digital ID? And I'm like, yeah, it's all there in writing. I just don't believe it. I just don't think that's going to be the case. And he was like, that you obviously don't know how it works. And I was like, no, I know how it will work. I just don't know how it could be used. But I mean, it's all there. I mean, it's just about. It is unfortunately, I think it is the way in which to control people, to keep them in like a digital prison, a digital deal. You put a foot out of line, suddenly everything's turned off, and that's what scares me with digital ID. That's why I'm fearful, because like you go on a flight and it's like your carbon footprint, digital ID, boom, you've had too many flights this year, you can't go.
They've already told us that. And there was a newspaper article saying they're going to start restricting people's flights to down to like 3 or 8. I can't remember.
It's ridiculous.
But
people fly about in private jets or whatever. But it's
everybody's mindset's like, oh, it's the billionaires. It's not the billionaires. It's the elites. It's the elites that are controlled. They technically are billionaires.
The ones you don't know about are the ones that you should worry about. Not
100%.
not
the
Musk,
ones
Zuckerberg, Bezos. Like they're just
puppets.
Yeah. When people shout against them, I'm like, okay, you don't understand what's really could be going on here.
Yeah.
But I had a thought there, man. It's slipped my mind. Yeah, the thing with digital ID, unfortunately, is like people instantly. I made a video on this. Have been threatened with their livelihoods. If you don't get it, you can't work. You can't feed your family. You can't do X, Y, and Z. So even though people are aware of it, and that's why I'm making my videos, I just want to inform people and people to understand what's going on. If they're doing it group by group, like drip feeding it, like I just don't. I hope it doesn't happen. It's
kind of like the Jags. They're dripping people into taking something that they think is going to be doing good for them. So, and they, like I said, if people knew the actual informed consent, if people knew how they were treated in the trials, like they threw people out the trials.
It's the same as climate change, doing it in the name of climate change. But like, even if that's true, the way you're going about it is wrong.
Yeah, so they're manipulating people into thinking the digital ID's for my safety. But these people that are going to sign up to it don't realise that it's not about safety, it's about keeping an eye on every single person.
I couldn't believe the reason they gave for immigration. It will stop the boats. I was like, I thought there's two things here. One, they think the British public are that stupid they'll fall for it. Or two, they know that they won't fall for it, but they don't care. They're just going to be brazen about it anyway. That's what shocked me, because from a software side, you just give people a digital ID the minute they arrive, and then they've got one. So what the hell is it stopping? So that's a complete lie.
The
anyway.
Navy could stop the boats.
If that's what they wanted to do, they would just put the Navy in. That's it.
Well, the thing is, this is the thing. I've said this before. This is a plan. Now, if I'm one of these people that are coming over for a different country, of course I'm going to come over. Better life, hotel, room, paid for, blah, blah, blah.
I don't disagree. Like, I want people to have a better life.
Of course they're going to take that opportunity. Look, I go to South Africa. I go to Johannesburg. I've seen what it's like out there. Look, I would take that opportunity as well. You can't deny that they wouldn't, right?
Absolutely.
But they're being used as pawns in this game.
That's the sad part.
To cause the divide and conquer, to cause people now, they want a race war. These fuckers want people to start looking at people and going, where's he came from? How has he been here? Now, what I'm saying to everybody is, we're all getting fucked over at all angles. All angles. Every single person, they're playing us all. Because what's going to happen is, the mainstream media is playing a massive part in this.
Mm-hmm.
A massive part in this.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to divide, but the one thing that will bring every single person together is the digital ID. Because every single, and I say it before, I'll say it again, every single person eats in this country. Every single person likes their privacy. So if you can't come together for digital ID and you can't come together for the sake of food, I don't know where your head's at. Unity is what I've been banging on about. Understand the game and understand why it's getting played out. And when you understand that, that's when people, and they don't want the unity, they don't want people coming together.
So it'd be the same as the poll tax. They overthrew it. They said, let's not do it. You know, I mean, the same as the digital ID when it first to get introduced last time with Tony Blair. But I agree. I think the one of the positives that's came with this, I made a video about this as well. The silver lining is that it seems to unite people. It's not left versus right anymore. It's not whatever it is. It's it's kind of freedom versus slavery. It is. Everyone is like, I don't care what your beliefs are, but there's no one I know who thinks digital ID is a good idea apart from that guy that was in my comments. But like, everyone I know is just like, this can't happen. We can't do this. But they're just going to like, how do you do it? It's the same as COVID passport. I think you can't travel, you can't do this now. You can't work, you can't do this. Like it's a shame, and the software's there for it already. Like it's already starting. Do you know what I mean?
And what do you think is the way out of it?
It's a good question. I've thought about this. I think inform yourself first. Understand what's going on. Not whether it's my videos, someone else's. Just go and do a bit of research on digital ID that doesn't come from like a big conglomerate companies or the website or the government website. Don't look at them. Go and speak to people that are actually speaking. Like, go and look at people speak this. Inform yourself so then you can inform others, and hopefully eventually everyone can be informed and everyone can make an informed decision. I think that's the only way out. I don't think there's like a one way out. I think it's people need to know. Like, one of my friends who's a software developer who's like helped me understand this as well, because he's a software developer. He's like way more experienced than me. He's been doing this since he was like 10, and he was telling me about stuff, and he was just like that. People just need to know, and that's when I went back and made that video that blew up. I was like, people need to understand about the EU chat control and the Apple thing. It's not a coincidence that it's all happening. Do you know what I mean? So I think inform yourself so then you can inform others and spread the word as fast as possible. That's because I think only then, hopefully, everyone can come together.
Yeah.
Because I seen your video and you're saying that guy was talking about how he doesn't think it will happen. The young lad you were saying, when you're down at the protest, and I was thinking, it's really optimistic. There's a lot of people that think it won't happen, but it only won't happen if there's mass non-compliance. It only doesn't work if everybody says no. But now what people don't understand is that it's quietly been done to people group by group. So now it's like this little group's like, well, can we all stand up and say no? We're a tiny group compared to the whole thing. I
think the problem you've got now, and I think because they've broken down society so much, right? So again, like back in the day, right? So back in the day when I was a kid, everybody knew everybody in the street, right? Now, where you stay, can I ask how many of your neighbours do you know?
My neighbours, I know a couple, not many, because I stay in a big block of flats, so I kind of know people.
So
a wee bit, not the way it used to be.
Back in the day, everybody knew each other.
Aye.
Right, so communities, right? I'm good pals with my neighbour.
That's gone now,
right?
innit?
So if everybody goes, oh, don't pay your council tax, right? Now, if I'm the only person that's in the street that's not paying my council tax, right?
You're the one that gets hammered.
So what happens? The police will come to my door and take me away, right?
Yeah.
But let's say the whole community went, we're not doing this.
That's different. That's power.
That's power, and that's what
power.
they don't want. They don't want unity. They don't want people.
That's why I
coming
made that
together.
video about the first one I made about the guy peeing, because I thought, well, if I make a video and it blows up, that's power that no one can take away. People have seen it. They're complaining. The police had to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's the same with this.
But what I'm saying is, so if this whole community here said we're not paying our council tax, because I've been speaking to people that say they don't want to pay council tax because they want to know where their money's gone. If it's true that you're using our council tax money or whatever money to fund wars, I'm against war.
Yeah, I'm
against war.
That.
So if it's true that you can show me that you aren't using the money, then I don't want to pay council tax. Now, if everybody in this area, and the police came out, by the way, just to let you know, number 42, right, everybody out, stand there, don't let them out.
It's different.
They've broken down community, they've broken it down, and because society is on the breadline right now, a majority of people are working wage slip to wage slip.
I agree.
Right? You think about it, Kyle's not going to take his digital ID. It's a wee opportunity there if you want to take his job.
That's a good point.
Dog eat dog world.
Because there'll be people that will eat this up.
There are snakes in the grass.
Not even just that. Like when you were saying about bringing people over and giving them digital IDs, these people who are looking for a better life, they'll probably think that a digital ID is a worthy cost to have a better life, because it's still better than the one that they might have had previously. So they've already got enough willing people to take the jobs.
I said, when you know the game, I've been saying it. Me and my mates have been saying it for ages. Like, we know why this is happening, and I've been going and doing last year. I go and document it, investigate, do what journalists are supposed to do. Instead, what you get is you get them standing at one side to tell you this, and those people are racist over there, right? Absolute fucking nonsense, right? And then I got asked to speak at them, so I go up and speak. Look at any of my speeches. What do I say? Everybody here's getting played. Them over there's getting played, and we're all getting played. And what do? They want us all to fight. They want to hang in. The reason why they're bringing in the immigration, why? So they can put everybody into a digital ID.
Yeah.
How many other people have got the balls to stand there and say that? Now this was, and summer I was saying it. Every single everyone, I'm warning them. This is what's coming. And now where we're at is Starmer's saying every single person. Now here's one for you. What we've got is we've got the Scottish government.
He's saying that he's gonna be against it.
Right, okay. What do you think of that?
I think he's just trying to keep his seat. That's my opinion. I think he's just trying to play it. I don't think the only way is if people have said that Scotland goes independent, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but then you bring back all the other issues.
Okay, that's
army, war, food, the lot.
Okay.
Like, so it's the same. I mean, I've got people messaging me from Australia saying it's happening already with digital IDs in different ways.
Let's use common sense here. Anyone that's watching is an independent supporter. Okay? What is going on right now is a global issue.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
UK,
not just in the
just the
UK.
start.
What is going on right now is a global issue. They want a one world government, one world issue. Right? John Swinney and the Scottish SNP always have to have that rivalry with Keir Starmer. That's how they keep us. That's how they keep everybody in. That's how they keep the Scottish.
Freedom for Scotland.
Keep that Braveheart fucking momentum going, right? So, Keir Starmer, you're supporting Israel. We're going to support Palestine. That's what we'll do, Scott, because we need that rivalry. You know what we'll do? Anything that comes through that's a WEF policy, doesn't matter, because in Scotland, we'll just turn around and we'll say, you know what? That's Westminster. We'll just blame Westminster. This is Westminster's fault. So this is just John Swinney's way of going, we don't have these powers. The whole fucking world doesn't have these powers. Do you think for 1 minute that what's going to happen is that the Scottish government, that they're going to say, right, you can have independence. No bother, Scotland. Just cut yourselves off. Now, I was an independent supporter. I've been massive for independence in the past. Would I vote for independence now? No, because I know how fucking corrupt the government is. Oh no, all of them are corrupt. Now what I'm saying is, let's use common sense. Do you think that this is a one world government, one world issue, that they want everybody around the world on this system? And do you think they're just going to turn into Scotland and go, here, by the way, we're just going to cut you off at the top. It's alright, Scotland, You just don't need the digital imprint. You don't need the cashless site. You don't need all that shit. Even though Scotland they were massive on the COVID passports, do you honestly think that that's what we're going to get? Independence is a distraction. They're fooling you. This independence is never going to happen. The reason it's not going to happen is because this is a plan by the WEF, UN, you name it. This is what's happening. Wake up and smell the coffee to what is actually getting played out. 2020, the world went nuts, and the reason why everything's been implemented is for this digital imprisonment. And if you think that we're getting independence, I'm sorry, it's no happening. It's a fucking distraction. And also when he's going to turn around and the SNP are going to say, we're opposed to this, but we don't have the power to do that because it's Westminster. No, it's no Westminster. It's WEF. Swinney's in their pocket. SNP are in their pocket. They're all the fucking same, and they're all just puppets for the global agenda.
Yeah, because the question I would ask is independent from what? Are you independent or from the UK? Okay, but you're not independent from what every other country is getting hammered with, as you say. This whatever the global agenda is you can't really be independent from it. There's a few countries that are, but they are obviously we're told to our thoughts about them and all that kind of stuff, you know. So it's weird seeing it happen, but I think everyone is looking at the UK right now. So we also have an opportunity here to kind of show unity and solidarity, because I mean, America, Joe Rogan's talking about it. Like everyone's looking at the UK, going, "Holy shit, it's starting."
Yeah.
And whatever's going to happen in the UK is going to happen in these other countries. But that's what I'm saying. There's already digital IDs.
I do not think that Trump's a good... I don't trust Trump.
I don't trust any to be honest.
So I celebrated, see when Trump got in power. Do you know why I was seeing it as a celebration?
In 2016 or 2024?
The one 2024. Right, so I seen it as a celebration to show people that the mainstream media are losing. It wasn't a case of Trump's in. I
agree with you. It was against that whole controlled narrative.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is when Trump got in power, I seen it and go, how did Trump get in power? He got in power by using alternative media, because that's how much people do not trust mainstream media now.
What's your opinion on... I already have my opinion, but what's your opinion on this whole... Like Nigel Farage and Reformer, like we're against digital ID and all this kind of thing. Do you think they would, or do you think it's controlled opposition? Or?
It could be controlled opposition. Like I say, when you hear that Nigel Farage is taking money from WEF, the World Economic Forum, am I meant to believe that this guy's not going to... Let's be honest here. 2029 is when the next election's going to be.
There's still a lot of time between now and then.
Now, I heard this. This might be true, it might not be true. Now, Farage is taking over seats. There's no two ways about it.
If it keeps going this way, they're going to win.
Yeah, and I don't trust any politician. He's an ex-Tory. They're all ex-Tories. You know, Tice, Farage, all of them. So, if I'm sitting here as a conspiracy theorist now, if this is true, because I've done a podcast where I've not released it, I've got so many to put out. I'll put this one out next.
Okay.
Because it's so relevant. But I've done a podcast with a guy and he says, if you think that Farage is basically... Right, so if this is true, that in order for him to get rid of the immigration, right, everybody who lands on these shores has a human right. There's a Human Rights Act.
It's ECHR, yeah.
So, how is Farage going to tackle the immigration? He gets rid of that Human Rights Act bill.
Yep.
But what happens when you remove that Human Rights Act bill? It removes all our human rights.
So it could just be another step in the plan.
So it could be another step in the plan of mandatory vaccines, digital ID, and everything. So when you hear that, can't 100% look. When you hear of these things, but they don't happen, but then they do happen.
Aye, not initially.
And like for me, the biggest fear for me is the restricting a movement, the 20-minute neighbourhood. It's in the Glasgow City Council.
That's what scares me just about everything, is like this digital ID is an enablement for all these things. Like these people have been waiting for the day digital ID comes along because they finally got something. Do you know what I mean? That can track everything. And that's why I make these videos. That's why I want to inform people, because I feel like part of my life, like you're right, like I don't want to be 25 speaking up about these things, because I just wish they weren't happening. I wish I could just enjoy my 20s, focus on my career, my life, build a family, whatever it is. But it's like there's other things going on. It's not like I'm not thinking about those things, but like what about like the next generation? I've got 4 younger siblings. You know what I mean? One's like 10 years younger. I'm like,
they're infiltrating.
Weird.
They're infiltrating so much. So, for example, doctors are not doctors anymore. I can tell you that right now. Doctors work within a parameter. They're not allowed to think outside the box. They still don't want to believe that the vaccines are harming people.
Mm.
If doctors stood up and went, there is a problem, 86% of them aren't even touching the thing anymore. So what does that tell you? If they're not trusting it, and people in the NHS, they've collapsed the NHS. The NHS is on its arse, done by design.
Mm.
The whole system is made to fail. The next big thing will be the fiat currency will collapse. There will be a massive crash to get rid of cash. 100%.
I think that's how it'll be done.
Klaus Schwab's already said there's going to be a massive financial crash and there's going to be the Great Reset. And not only that, I'll show you the flyer. I literally got a flyer through the door saying, what do you do in the case of a power cut?
It's the blackouts and stuff.
They're
like
telling us. So we're going to have power cuts. We're going to have all this stuff. So what am I meant to think when I hear all this stuff?
I heard him saying that there'll be a comprehensive digital attack, but that can only be worth it if there is a digital ID to attack.
So I want to wrap this up, but I want to ask you as well, right? Unity is what's needed.
Yep.
Been banging on about it for long enough. Now, the digital ID and the food's are two things that I think can bring people together. Now, my question is, you'll understand algorithms and stuff, how they work?
Yes.
Right. So am I right in saying...
In a way.
Okay, if I'm right in saying, right, if you've got an algorithm, and your algorithm, let's say that you're someone that's against immigration, your algorithm's going to show you horrible things regarding immigration, isn't it?
The algorithm is just humans. The algorithm is you. It learns from you, your swiping, your interactions, your comments, your likes, your shares. So all you need to do is go type in happy videos, scroll on that for 10 minutes and suddenly your algorithm's changed. So you're actually in more control than you realise. But the algorithm knows that people find comfort in evidence for their own beliefs. They like to know that they're right. So suddenly they think, I'm against immigration. And then they come up when there's like an illegal migrant attack someone and that's all their things about. Now that is not, everyone should know about these things.
Yeah.
But like, to what end?
But what I'm saying is it, if that's how an algorithm works, then that's showing you how they're going to manipulate people.
But it also shows that people can take back control in that way.
100%.
That's the thing that people are missing. Is like, change your algorithm, go like everything's out there. When this goes out, like that's information there that people probably wouldn't want speaking about. Not even that in depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably more software things you went in depth about. But
I've argued with people and I go into Twitter spaces and I was saying, your algorithm's playing into this divide and conquer. Your mainstream media's playing the game. Your government's playing the game. Your newspapers are playing the game. Your algorithm, the internet's playing the game. They're all playing the game. Divide and conquer. The fact of the matter is that the digital ID's now been announced. Right, there's a rally happening right now in London with it. I'm hoping the numbers are massive. Now, if the country can't get together on those things, the digital ID, I worry where, am I just mad that I'm sitting here going, you know what? Maybe the digital ID is not that bad.
Earlier on, you made a point about social media, and you think that's got a big role to play in a lot of negative things. My response to that is I agree and I disagree. Digital ID is just a tool. It's like anything. It's like a hammer. If I had a hammer on this table and I helped you put this table together, then that hammer's good. But if I use it to hit you over the head, you'd be like, whoa, get all the hammers out. No, it's me. It's the same as the digital ID. It's a tool. Honestly, and digital ID in principle makes total sense to me. But but the way it's been used and what it's going to be used for is completely wrong. That's my stance. It's a tool that could help you build a house or tear it down. It's you could use it to track people or help people have more freedom of movement, help people have no fraud. But the issue that I don't think that if they get a hack, like and they like a digital ID has your fingerprint, your biometric scans, you can't change them. You can change your email if you get hacked. You can change your password, but you can't change like all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think social digital ID is more about who's using it and whether you trust them or not. As I say, Estonia have one, and maybe I'm being completely naive here, right? And I don't know enough about Estonian politics or the how their living standards are. They've been using one for a while, and it seems like it's in place and it's doing well. I know Netherlands has one, I think, and in some sense, and Poland has one, but Poland that government seem to be for the people, to be honest. Like they're trying to help their own people out, and with digital ID, it seems like it's an enablement. Digital ID could be an enabler for a lot of good things. I just don't trust this government to use it for good things. That's why I need people to be informed. Because when people say, "Why is it a bad thing? Look at this country, look at that," it's like, yeah, but this is the UK we're speaking about.
Yeah, it's
and Starmer's a puppet. It doesn't matter if it was Starmer or someone else who was Prime Minister. People say Starmer's the worst ever. I'm like, it's just whoever was Prime Minister at this point who got told to bring it in that would take the most flack.
100%.
So he's probably getting the most compensation for it.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
Let's be straight up here. See, when I hear people debating politics out the window. There is no politics.
This isn't about politics. This is freedom versus slavery.
But what I'm saying is, there's a plan, there's a goal. They're going to do whatever they need to go A, B, C, D, E to get to the goal, right? Now, what I'm saying is, when we had Sunak in, my fucking mate, when we had Sunak in, what happened? We didn't get different what Starmer said. It's evident now that the policies that he's put in is just total nonsense. And what happens is, as soon as he was announced, I went, all we're going to get it quicker. Because I know that he's a puppet. He goes to Davos. He goes to the World Economic Forum. He's sat down and done all these things. He picked Davos over Westminster. He was asked on stage. So as soon as your next one's just the next pawn in the game to play it. And don't be fooled by our own Scottish government either. They're shaking hands. And my worry is a complete Labour takeover
of Scotland.
Is a complete destruction.
I don't think Labour will take over Scotland.
Well, again, it's like Swinney's saying to people, "Oh, we're not going to get the digital ID." I think but it's going to be one of the we have no power over this, or else he bring in his own bloody Scot.
It's an interesting point you were talking about the plan. Oh, that's a good point. It could do. The one thing I want people to understand if they're listening to this is these plans only work with you. Like, you are involved so much. Only work if people comply and if people are scared. These things only work if people are scared. You're destroying the planet. You're doing this. Now you need a digital ID for X, Y, and Z. But if everyone... You're right, we're in such a divided time, and to me it looks like it's been constructed so that when they bring in these measures, if everyone was united, if this was like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, people might be like, wait a minute, well, maybe not 100, that was like World War One, but like, what is going on? And people could speak to each other. But now it's like, I'm now coming to speak to you, who's like an hour's travelling, to then get to a bunch of people that I don't know, right? Which is good, before any of my neighbours have spoke to about it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good point you've made. So I think people don't realise how much power they have, and it only works if everyone's united. But that is the one silver lining with all this, man, is that people seem to be somewhat aware. Well, I hope.
They need divide and conquer. They need problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah.
And where you're at right now, the solution is the end of all your freedoms. Kyle, well done for speaking it.
Thanks, yeah. I need to get across, like, the thing that people know when speaking about digital ID is surveillance. The devices you need for these things are the same devices that can be surveilled. That's the issue. That's what people don't understand. Look up chat control, look up Apple's advanced safety features, look up the OECD, which is to do with the G7, which is to do with the CBDC. It's all the same software. Just look it up. Just look up Palantir. Look how they run the NHS. They have a federated data platform. They bring everyone's data together so they can access it. And a digital ID is just a pointer saying, hey, this massive database where you've got like 1,000 pieces of all your data, how can we link it all together? It's really hard to build a case. Digital ID just does it like that. That's my concern. So that could be a good thing. Your banking history, or you want to get a mortgage. Like, they say these things and they're not untrue. It's just what else can be done with it? Do you know what I mean?
Aye, and my question is, again, I think it has to be people power. It has to be numbers, a numbers game. And I think if you are in a situation where people your work are telling you need this, I think it's going to have to be a simple case that everybody strikes.
I think that it's the same as the poll tax. I think it's 1986. Like, I've thought about this myself. I don't want to come across as a hypocrite, because I was speaking to my partner about this. I thought, if I speak out about this and then it happens to me, like next month, let's say, imagine it came in that quickly, right? I'm not in a position, I want to be, but it's a scary position to be in, to think, are other people saying no? Am I the only one? Did I lose my job? I can't afford to not have an income at the moment, you know? Yeah. And I'm trying to like build it up myself.
The thing is, they're wanting to hit the veterans.
Well, they've started it now already.
And again, like, the veterans, how many of them have got a phone? That's the question. But if they're hitting the veterans, the next ones they'll hit are the people that are signing on, the people that are on their PIP and on the benefits. Because
the people that rely or need the government are the people they're going to get first, because that's easy, because they need this software for them to keep living. So the people that are speaking out against it, who usually have a platform like yourself, where you're kind of more self-sufficient or whatever it is, the scary thing is that I wonder if it'll be too late by the time the digital ID comes to you, because by then veterans, people on benefits, there'll be millions of people on it. All these people coming in will be on it. That's the concern. Do you know what I mean? So it needs to be now or never, kind of.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, anything else you want to finish on, young man?
No, that's what I'll say. Just inform yourself, inform others, and that's it. Make a decision for yourself. But people need to know like how this software can actually work.
Where can people find you?
Just Kyle. At the moment, my username's different now, but it'll be changing next week. Just Kyle _Fenlon on that, and on Instagram it's Kyle _Fenlon 00. Yeah, that's it. I'll make videos about this and other stuff.
You know, I said that a while ago. Like, I called myself Bring the Noise because basically they kept shutting me down because of the harms of the Jags. And then I said, and then as time went on and the box kept getting ticked, I went, every single person in this country is going to need to bring the noise. And I tell you what, if that's a prediction I've made in the past, look where we're at now.
It is concerning because if everyone doesn't come together for this, I'm not saying we deserve it, but I'm like, well, we've done it to ourselves almost at that point. Like, cause it goes past the point of blaming them. I'm like, we had a chance to unite and people still can't go over their hatred for each other. I just care about unity. Come together, understand this thing, and it only works if everyone says no. They don't. No one has power anymore. No one has power if everybody says no.
Yeah.
But they're doing it dribs and drabs, man.
Been trying to warn people about the bigger plan. That's like, I've not been like, oh, I'm there to stand with the people at the hotel. I'm there to document it. I'm there to, you know, I go down and film the farmers. I go in the streets and interview people what they thought about COVID. I'm trying to make people realise there's a game, there's a plan. Now we're at the point where that plan with that digital ID, that is the end goal. And if anyone out there regrets taking their vaccine,
aye,
you're going to majorly regret taking that digital ID.
It only needs to happen once. You only need to sign up once, and then your data's there forever. Your details. That's the scary part. So it's the very first domino. I think once the first domino's fallen, if it does, the software's going to run. It's going to run away. There's no stopping it.
100%. Kyle, bring a noise, kid.
Aye, I'll keep it going. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mate. Cheers.